And I'm Cal. Together we are SheKan. And this is Spill the Prosecco.
Yay! Okay, so here we go. First one.
Season 1, episode 1.
Season 1
of
our first season.
Yeah, how exciting.
So, babe, this one, we're going to call season 1 the King Valley, won't we? Because that's
King Valley.
where we're rolling out from. So, this episode is brought to you by Brown Brothers, which I feel like is where it all started.
I feel like it's a staple.
Yeah. Are you ready?
It's the fallback.
Magic noise.
Magic noise, please. Oh, yay!
Let me pour.
And we will just preface saying,
Yeah.
absolutely not bought to you by Brown Brothers. They aren't sponsored. However,
I'm just putting it out there.
if you want to tag them, we are looking for a season sponsor.
I kind of love that one of our most beautiful clients thought that when we'd launched Spill the Prosecco, it was our own Prosecco brand.
Yes.
Yes, please.
That would be amazing. Yeah, if anyone wants to,
Yeah.
collab. Is that the word? Collab?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Call us.
Call us. Season 1, episode 1. Welcome.
Welcome,
Spill the
welcome.
Prosecco. 10 years in the making.
And so many bottles drank.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So,
Just passing.
cheers.
Cheers.
We better.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This is going to be fun. Let's do it.
Amazing. So,
Oh,
where do we start?
where do we start?
We start with a sip. That's
Yeah,
what we
let's
start with.
Let's start. It's like heaven in a
yeah.
cup.
Perfect. Okay. Where do we want to begin?
Let's start. Well, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really excited. I'm not going to lie, probably going to bed last night after picking you up from the airport, I was like, we really have no idea what we're going to talk about.
I feel like that's been the underlying current of 10 years of SheKan.
It's 100% the theme.
Which we're going to share
Absolutely.
about for sure.
Because I think we had planned that we would be fairly clear on what we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be very honest. We are currently recording in the Dream House on the Gold Coast, which is a beautiful friend of ours studio. And we are going to be recording the entire season.
Yeah, we are.
In one sitting.
So, yes, you'll see different outfits for different, but they're all out there in the other room for us to, like, fully transparent. Shez didn't fly out 4 times.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to smash it out.
So we I was feeling a little underprepared.
Yeah.
However, I also know how we both work best, and that would come together this morning, which we did capture the footage of us sitting on our couch at home, smashing out exactly what the 8 episodes are going to look like.
It's funny because I also know what the feeling of being over-prepared feels like.
Very
and
true.
we have done that as well.
Very true.
And I don't feel like that works as well for us.
Well, I think also what we've come to understand and learn about ourselves, particularly since discovering human design, is that we both have a defined root. And for people that are listening, they're probably like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Doesn't matter.
Oh, my God, she's talking about rooting already.
But what it does mean is that we are able to work well under time pressure and stress. Yeah. And I think what we've learned over the last 10 years is that the more organised or prepared we are, we generally will rewrite events, parts of events, full days, if we wrote them too early.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah. So now I'm feeling like super relaxed. We've got a bit of a rough guide. I've got a few notes down here. We probably know we'll go off on a tangent. Of
course.
But what about you? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm so ready for this. I feel like we've talked about it since its infancy, since SheKan started. But I feel like it's now that I'm ready to launch and talk and chat into, and here's what we know now. You know, when people talk about, if I knew then, I don't think we could have done that as much 2 years in, 3 years in, especially because of the SheKan story, which we're going to share through Spill the Prosecco. I feel like now we're just really ready for everybody to know, and it'll be warts and all and some behind the scenes stuff that we've never shared.
Absolutely.
But knowing that sharing it was some of our greatest lessons.
Definitely.
Yeah. So ready, I think, is my word.
Amazing. So shall we get into
Let's do it.
the main pour?
The main pour.
And for those of you that have followed the SheKan journey, have been in SheKan rooms, have attended events, retreats, you will probably know a little bit about what we're going to share in episode 1, because it is, I guess, basically our origin story and how SheKan came about. But I think it's important for the people that are like,
Who are these two?
Who the fuck are these two? And so, yeah, I mean, winding the clock back 10 years, like it is 10 years ago this month. But even prior to starting SheKan, I guess how we met, what journey we were on, and then what transpired very, very quickly to turn into what SheKan is today.
So today's main pour, I feel like we will talk a little bit about maybe our qualification. Because how often did this question come up when we started this? The what are your qualifications, or what did you have to do to start this work? I cannot tell you how many times that question has come up.
Yeah.
And from day dot, we were just 10 foot tall and bulletproof in what our answer was, which is?
I'm a beauty therapist.
And I'm a hairdresser. We don't have, they're our qualifications.
Yeah.
That's the certificates we've got on the walls. But
yes.
This work just came from an ability to want to work with people, want people to better themselves. And I think it probably came, we didn't know at the time, but in those beauty industries, we had people coming to us 4 weekly, 6 weekly.
Of course.
You know what it's like when you offload to your hairdresser or your beauty therapist. You dump it all there in the chair. But what I was finding, and I will speak for myself, but I do know that you had this too, we would see them again in that next appointment and they'd done nothing with all of this offloading advice that you'd given them.
Yes.
And I'm like, time to work with people that are willing to do the work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, we were very much on our own journey
100%.
of whether or not you call it self-development, self-growth, self-awareness, and we were traveling to, other states, to other cities to follow mentors to get, I guess we got a little bit addicted to that, okay, what's next?
What it feels like to be stretched.
And, getting, what did we used to say? Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And, we were lucky enough to be exposed to incredible mentors through Isogenics.
Yeah.
And with that, we just found a real passion and love for personal development. I guess what we were realising, being regional women living in small country towns, is that when we were travelling back, nothing was changing around us. And what we could see was that there was a real gap in that, we were privileged enough or were investing our time and money into our own growth, but it wasn't really accessible in these small towns.
100%. And we really lived into that say yes and figure the rest out, so that we were on
a little too much sometimes, little too much.
We were on a constant rocking up to the event thinking, what are we going to be doing after this? What are we saying yes to after this? So we were so hungry for and I'm going to call it our education. This was where we learned what it feels like to be on a growth journey.
Yes.
And then we were like, how do we let women where we live or where we are, and because that's amazing women in those small regional towns, how do we let them have what we're lucky enough to have access to?
Yeah. And I mean, circling back to that, our qualifications, that was a question we got asked a lot.
Yeah.
And truly, we didn't have the qualifications that people expected.
Yeah.
Are you a counsellor, a psychologist, psychiatrist,
Yeah.
and, all of those big certificates that people put on the wall and, power to them, worked hard for them. We didn't have, but what we did was we had real life experience. And I think outside of that, we had a connection between us that was unlike anything that we had probably seen ourselves personally, and then through other people sharing with us that they'd never seen either.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting in that we've been friends for like 12 and a half years.
Yeah.
And then to have got so close so quickly and then jumped into business, that's fairly uncommon.
Rare.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think because everyone thought it had been so much longer. But there is that thing, and I know we'll talk about it as we move through our episodes, but there's always been that just so much trust, 100% trust.
Yes.
And I know we'll talk about it, but people have said, tell me about the big fights you have had. There has never been one. No. And I hand on heart. And I love an argument. Like I'm here for it. Like sign me up. But I love the pushback. We just haven't had it.
No, and I don't know whether or not there is just an element of being able to be in the present moment and can have like a different, not necessarily a differing of opinions, but have a different ideas.
Here's how I see it.
And then it's like, oh yeah, actually that's way better.
Yeah.
Like that, or it's a merging of two ideas. Like I think that's why we have been as successful as we have for such a long time, because there's always been a willingness and just an open communication. It's like, oh no, actually that's way better. Yeah. Like let's pivot to that.
Which is how you want people to go into business.
Which could have been a positive or a negative over time.
But my husband will be listening to this going, well, she doesn't do that with me. Yeah. She just fucking digs those heels in and she refuses to back down. And I've never had that with us and SheKan and this business. And yeah, I don't know.
And I think, if we do wind the clock back 10 years ago, I had just closed my Alabache franchise. That was the 9th of January 2016.
Look at you with the numbers.
I know. I will never forget that day. Because there's like this weight of the world lifted off my shoulders.
I could tell you what colour the carpet was or where we went for lunch after we celebrated it, but I couldn't tell you the date and I couldn't tell you any of that.
That date I can remember. The rest will probably get blurry. But I do know that probably maybe 10 days after that, we did go to an event. We were going as attendees, as students, shall we say. And that is where SheKan was almost birthed. But within that, the 1st of Feb was when we put our names down and said, right, we're going to do this program. It's for 15 days. And SheKan was literally born.
Yeah, and I think that's what first tests feel like.
Yeah.
So, people often say, well, how did you get started? Where were you at with, your other businesses? But we dropped them. Like, it's like, sorry, we're breaking up with you.
Well, and I mean, I had already made the decision to close Alabache, but I was going on a 6-month sabbatical. Yeah. Like, I was like, time out. And I'm going to have some downtime. And 3 weeks later, I've got a new business.
And I'm a hairdresser. And, I vividly remember the bride that I had to call, because part of us committing to that event that you was talking about before, part of that was I looked at the dates. I'm like, I've got a wedding booked in. And that's, a bride, sorry if that's what your hairdresser's ever done to you, but literally to call her and say, sorry, thanks for the 12-month booking. I'm about to cancel you. Like, let's see how that goes.
Yeah, because, I mean, we enrolled in that first program and then through that got the opportunity and got an invitation to say, well, do you want to come to Bali? And, I mean, SheKan was, I'm going to say 8 days old. It was a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Running ads to an event that didn't exist.
Yeah. And it didn't have a name.
No, it didn't have a name. And next minute, like, we're on a plane going to Bali.
Yeah.
And I think, so many times over the last 10 years, we've had women, can I just pick your brain?
Ooh,
like
that message pops up.
Just, can I take a minute of your time? Just side note, it's never a minute of our time. But, the question has always been the same, like, how did you get started, And I think for us is that what people didn't see was the huge commitment that we made from day dot and the sacrifices. I mean, I'll never forget, and I know who that bride was, and I'll never forget you like, well, I'll make the call. And I was like, well, if you're cancelling a bridal party, I probably got no excuse.
Yeah.
Mind you,
You were moving house.
that invitation came. Shez and I had it was a Zoom call probably, some sort of camera call back then, 10 years ago. And we were in my office, in my house, and that was the only bit of furniture left. We were literally moving out of the house on that day. We just sold our house. And I can remember, I'll never forget, I remember saying to Squidgy, my husband, I said, well, like, we've just been invited to go to Bali. And he said, well, you've definitely got to go. And I was like shocked. And I was like, without a question, absolutely. I was like, yes.
I think there is some hidden gems in here, which I know we'll unpack, but that full backing by our partners, full support, full trust in each other. I think, one of the underlying things that has been is that we've had each other versus I'm off just doing this by myself.
Yes.
But that really believing it before you see it, I mean, that's what we say, but hell, I don't even know if I did believe it. It was so out of body when we go back and think about it because it just happened boom, 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 like so quick.
And I think because we were in that online program and we were learning how to set up events and run ads and do those things. We had registrations to our first event that we had no idea what was happening at that event. We just knew we were going to run an event. No. Event. And so I think there was a little bit of belief, like we got belief at, okay, well, people are obviously registering, so they want this. But to literally commit and fly to Bali and pay for another event on top of the program you're already doing, we were in.
Yeah.
And so you do sacrifice, like our girls were little back then. Mine would have been 4 and 6. Yours would have been 8 and 9.
Yeah.
And Mum and Shez are off to Bali.
Dad's got us.
Yeah.
Which is, and we look at those girls now, those 4 girls who have been brought up in this, more of their life has been in SheKan than not in their lives.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is wild.
But that's been their education as well.
Yes.
And they've gone on the growth journey and how they show up and see the world and has been so, like, if we didn't decide to do this, what would that look like for them now?
Yeah.
To, fast forward, which, in another time we'll talk about it, but we're bringing them along to an actual event.
Yes. Well, probably created that event with them in mind.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting. And they have been to our events over the years as well.
Yeah. And I guess that's also part of the education too. As far as the standing in front of rooms and speaking, we've had a lot of opportunity in that space before we'd even started this.
Yes.
And so that banter that naturally happens, that being able to speak, being able to facilitate a room, being able to, not worry about what each other says, much like what we're doing right now, has always been a flow. It's always been a thing that we've done.
Yeah, and I think that's something that is the one thing we've never really been able to explain, or it is very natural.
Yeah.
Our clients that have become friends and have been in our rooms and at our retreats over and over again, they just said, it's like what each other are thinking. Like you finish each other's sentences and it's just that they see it. And it comes very naturally. We don't even know that we're doing it anymore.
No, and it comes from a decade of sharing a bed.
Yeah. Being asked if we're together.
A lot of car time.
Yeah. But I think, even if we wind the clock back before we started SheKan and we were doing and being asked to present and facilitate quite a lot with Isogenics, we were doing emceeing of events. We got to speak at Celebration in front of 6,000 people and we decided to wear fluoro lycra. That was
why not?
And
everyone buys these beautiful outfits. We go
full 80s retro fluoro. That we were very lucky to have had David T.S. Wood, who was Isogenics, master trainer at the time. we had him as our kind of role model and mentor. However, there was just elements that was very natural, and that's very difficult to be able to share and teach with other people because sadly it's not as natural for other people.
No, and even those little opportunities to MC or to, remember like we were doing roving microphones and so none of that was scripted. That was just us bouncing, all of these kind of things. It was amazing. It had so much opportunity. That's back then when you were petrified of camera.
Absolutely. And I share that story so much because I could present on stage in front of 6,000 people, but put me in front of camera where I knew then you were going to have a record of it and you could go back and watch it. It terrified me and I just blatantly refused to do it. But when we started SheKan, I was like, if I want this to work, I have to get good at being on camera.
Yeah, so there's so many elements that were beautiful and natural and flowed, but there's absolutely elements where we had to practice and do the work.
Oh, so much. And even like when we were in Bali, we learnt so much in that short amount of time, but we were also doing this other program at the same time as well. And, we had launched an ad for an event that didn't exist, that we hadn't written yet. But, we were coming back from Bali to go into, okay, well, now we need to do that event. There's so much learning on the go, and I think we were just there for it all. Like, I think we would just be like, oh, well, this is part of the journey and you might as well enjoy the ride while you're there, and we just learnt on the run. And so going back to when people say, oh, can I just pick your brain?
Where do I start?
Well, where do I start? But also my advice for those people is you've just got to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to start in the beginning and you're going to make mistakes.
We did. We absolutely did.
Sucked.
My God. Holy smokes.
Yeah. And so, we came back from Bali and, we'll probably talk about, I was going to say some of the funny stuff, but some of the fucking stupid shit we did and said over there in that program. But it was that was the beginning.
Yeah. And you have to start somewhere.
Yes.
And you cannot be good at it at the start.
No.
Yeah. It still haunts my dreams, some of those videos. But again, I'm good with it because without that version of us, we wouldn't have this version. So
yeah, and I mean that's kind of like, when we had to be in front of camera and record videos for ads. And I mean, this is the thing, right? It was so long ago. Like 10 years ago, we were running ads on Facebook. We were getting like 16-cent clicks on our ads. I mean, show me a Facebook marketer that's getting you 16-cent clicks on events now. That's just.
I mean, we've been in Facebook jail the last 2 years. We were having.
I can't even advertise anymore.
Can't even punch out an ad.
Apparently, I did something in 2020. Don't know, but probably can tell you. I can't even advertise on Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Anyway.
Interesting.
So we jumped on the plane.
We did.
We're like, well, our names are Shez and Cal. It's a female event. I reckon we're Prosecco 3 by now on the plane.
You came up with it
and I was
like,
well, how about like SheKan, but like make the can a K, like for you. So it's an S and a K. And you were like, I love it. And so often decisions through our entire 10 years have come just like that. But I did second guess it once we got there. You were like, I love it. It's great. It's perfect.
Yeah, and I think that there was times that even maybe months or possibly, I don't know, even maybe a year into the journey, you were a bit like, I think it came up and was like, are we like, is the name good? Like, are we running with the name? And I was like, we're not changing it.
Yeah.
It's way too much work. We've trademarked it. We've got a logo. We're on. And so we just, but you know what's really interesting?
They loved it too at the event. I remember that. They were like, that is a great name. And we were like, she's 6 hours old.
Yeah. And you know what's really interesting as well is now understanding human design again and knowing that we are sacral authority. So yes, no in the moment. That is why I think we've always worked really well together because we're both sacral.
Yeah.
Whereas if one of us was emotional and needed time and space to make decisions, the other one would be fucking frustrated.
We'd
all
have
the
stories
time.
about fighting.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean you're still thinking about it? And much
How are you
love,
not there yet?
Much love to all the emotional authorities out there. But, yeah, I just, the more that we've gone on this journey, the more we've learned, that's been something really clear.
Which has been so helpful to us to understand why people don't say yes like we do to events straight away. Why people don't already through day one know how do we book this next event. Like, knowing that that's not how everyone operates, because we were like, what's wrong with you?
Yes.
It's actually
Not
everyone's like us. So
not everyone's going to make decisions like that.
You were the first person running down the back with the credit card to like, let's go. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spent way more money than we earned in the beginning because we were earning nothing.
Which was our education.
Absolutely.
We just keep, I think that's been really nice to arrive at that point. That we see that that's what it is.
Yeah. And I do love that, when we got asked that question a lot more in the beginning, I feel like, about our qualifications that we didn't have, we did get we were always just very straightforward, no certificates on the walls. We don't have any of those types of qualifications.
Yeah.
And we're very okay with it. Because we weren't, let's be honest, the very reason we created SheKan in the beginning was so that you and I could go out midweek, have a meal and a glass of Prosecco and hopefully talk to some cool people.
That's exactly what it was.
And through that, obviously here we are 10 years later. But, yeah, we just didn't feel like we needed qualifications.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing.
And we haven't needed them. But, okay.
Okay. Spilled everywhere.
Okay. Give us some of the mess.
Shit, the mess.
You've got to.
I have to talk about the numbers. Is that what you were going to say? No? Yeah. So that first event, Cal and I can wing it with the best of people. We're pretty good at the wing. I would say we're good at the wing. Except when it comes to numbers, which what has every mentor we've ever worked with taught us? Know your numbers.
Well, yes.
So, we're how old are we? And we've got a 6-hour-old name. We're put into like a Shark Tank type, get up there, what's your elevator pitch? How much money do you want from the bank? Do you know what's really sad? I don't even know how much I said. It was embarrassing what the number I said. Was it like $1 million?
I think it was $1 million.
Fuck.
We'll get
Give me $1 million.
That's a lot of 16-cent clicks, just so you know.
And here's the thing. In 10 years, I've never held the clicker. Like, I've never been that person. So to even nominate the number with, there was no recording on Cal's face, but I would love to know.
But do you know what I love? Is that you were like
conviction.
There was not a fucking doubt in your mind that it was $1 million. I'm pretty sure I was like, side eye, what is the $1 million going to?
What would your number have been?
No fucking idea. I'm just glad you answered $1 million.
I just don't even know. I don't know to this day why I said that.
Anyway, we didn't get $1 million for the thing, but that was.
In fact, we got shot down in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, so that was the messy stuff in the beginning. I guess really what actually worked back then, but would probably be seen to be messy now, is that we literally had a Facebook page. Like, we had no branding photos. We didn't have a logo in the beginning. Like, it was literally an idea.
Yeah.
Something we were passionate about, and a Facebook page.
And that learn as you earn. Not that it was earned.
Oh, we got paid with applause for a long time.
Paid with applause. But that, okay, we need this. Okay, we need a trademark. Okay, we need an Instagram handle. Okay, we need and so we just did.
Yes.
All of a sudden we need a CRM. So, and you decide, let's jump straight to
fucking Infusionsoft, which
everyone
called Confusionsoft. I'm not bad at tech. It was okay.
Thank God.
And then it's now changed to Keep. I don't even know if it still exists. But we were so green and we were so new.
Yeah.
That we were just like, if they tell us to do it, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because we were so committed to making it work.
Yeah.
And I think over the time, that's been something that we've shared a lot, is that you can't take a recipe and remove one of the ingredients and skip a step and still expect the same result. You might end up somewhere, but, you're not making a sponge cake. You're going to make a pancake. We
Never
were just
made a
like,
sponge cake in my life.
no,
Just so you know.
I've tried. Shit. So I think that was something we were really good at.
Yeah, we were. And being the best students in the room. So even as we progressed and we would still continue to educate ourselves, we would always be the best student in the room. Someone asked me recently, well, how do you go when you watch other events and you see people doing things that's absolutely not how you would do it, or they're losing their room and they haven't picked up on it yet? What do you do? And I'm like, you still continue to be the best student in the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't sit back and go, I can't learn from you.
No.
Never.
And I do think that being the best student in the room, because you have been the person at the front of the room 100%. So often, and you're not a master in the beginning.
Yeah, 100%.
Our mentors always said once...
every master is once a disaster.
Exactly. So to be there in support of the person at the front of the room is so important. What I have often walked away knowing, though, is we are very good at what we do.
Yeah.
And that's something we took a long time to admit.
I was going to say, that absolutely isn't... After we got back from Bali, we realised we were awesome, because no,
because we sucked. And in episode 2, we're going to talk about it. But okay, let's do the spill.
Yeah,
the spill.
Okay, the spill. I think we'll do the spill. I think in every episode, and I think it's kind of got to be a little guilty pleasure, or just where we're at right now. So
yours.
Yeah. Oh God,
I know what yours is
are going
be.
to die. So okay, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off, because so we have so many similarities, but this one area that you and I just
know exactly where you're going
cannot
with this.
work it out together is I'm like obsessed with the royal family and the history of the royal family, and it's just always been, I know, no, and it's so weird. Like, I love period films, like Mia came home the other night and said, oh my God, Mum, I've just discovered Bridgerton. And I'm like, please, let's just sit and chat for hours, because I'm so excited. However, fast forward, I jumped on the plane yesterday to get across to you, and I thought, I've downloaded The Spare, which is Prince Harry's book, and the audio, and it's his voice. So I'm obsessed with that. I am obsessed. He is so just ripping the Band-Aid, sharing his version. He paints the most beautiful pictures, and I'm sure it's going to come up. But even in my world, with all my family shit, and like, let's face it, he's got some family shit, it's so, you can almost visualize the way all the family stuff goes down. You buy into it whatever you want, but it's an absolute guilty pleasure. So yeah, I took Prince Harry to bed with me last night when I went to bed at your house.
That would definitely put me to sleep.
Yeah. I love it.
Guilty pleasure. Well, for me, one thing that I really enjoy is I will sit and have my breakfast, and that is my time where I will watch something on Netflix and generally it's some sort of true crime, or it'll be a documentary.
At 6:30 in the morning.
That's relaxing to me. And I know, you know what the funny thing is? I know the people that are into true crime are like, 100%, I'll just pop that on to go to sleep at night. And so that is the thing. I just, it could be 15 minutes, but that is just like, I'm literally like, don't talk to me. I've got my overnight oats. I've got my cup of tea, headphones in, and I'm going to watch Catching Killers.
Oh.
Or I might watch, it's Blacklist, or we renamed it Reddington.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, it's amazing. I mean, it's very old, but so that's that's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah, and guilty pleasures, I'm calling it a guilty pleasure because sometimes it's really hard to press pause or to stop and just to not keep going. So that setting yourself a time, like when my breakfast is done, I've got to go.
And I think that is,
I think it's valuable.
I think that's why I do it, because I probably know my personality. Like, I know that it would be like I could have that creep
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
So, absolutely. Yeah, like 3 a.m. or like one eye open. But I think also if I have my breakfast, then I clean the kitchen, I can still sort of have that on.
Yes.
And then I might, just quickly do a load of washing. And then once it's time to get in the shower, it's like, that's it, you're done.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Day started.
Love
so
it.
that would be my guilty pleasure. All right. Behind the glass. So check in.
Yeah.
Outside of the SheKan world, what's happening in life? Where are you at? What's current in your world?
Yeah. Okay. So, there's been a bit on. I've actually had
Just a bit.
just a bit. I feel like I'm in a stage of compartmentalizing is literally how I'm calling it. I know I've got a lot of plates spinning, and I'm also like navigating a husband that works away, and that has become so much more than either of us anticipated. Mm-hmm. And so it's like I know that we will look back on this as a real stage in our life because we actually hate it.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that are like, oh, you're so lucky. That's so good. Well, it's actually not.
Yes.
And, all of this comes from that growth work that you do, that you want to spend time together, that you want to be together. And, yeah, we've absolutely had some things going on in our world. And, yeah, I would like him to be around.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know I'm spinning a lot of plates. So I guess, you know how you can tell yourself, be mindful, don't burn out, although you still keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I've absolutely been in a little bit of that. So,
Yeah.
you know that at some point it's going to blow up.
Something's going to give. Yeah.
And it'll be, what to do, get back to how to, settle this down a little bit.
Yeah.
Start doing that.
Yeah.
I'm in that right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Which is not actually at my best.
No, but you constantly always do your best regardless of where your best could be.
Absolutely.
And I think that's something we've always shared.
Yeah.
Your best is always different at any given time based on what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so for me, I'm actually in that I'm just feeling really good, really excited for the year ahead. We've got some big things coming, but I've just probably really kind of focused in on health. Sleep's been a massive, massive thing. So Squidgy and I the alarm's been going off at 4:30, which is really fucking early, really early. However, I'm like 8 o'clock, I get a thing on my phone to say bedtime, wind down,
Yeah,
and
perfect.
so it's been something to really focus on and change, particularly with Squidgy because he's not a big sleeper and will easily go to bed late. But being that we are committed to getting up that early and training and doing different things, and makes it so clear how valuable sleep is.
Gosh, especially as we're getting older.
Absolutely. And I think and I'll probably share this in a future episode, but last April when I hit burnout and what transpired after that, I recognised how important sleep is. And I mean, I sleep well.
Yeah.
But it's just like how much sleep you need. So, yeah. All right. Uncorked. Let's do it. Have you got your phone there?
Yeah.
All right. You get to choose.
Okay. Questions?
So Uncorked is our little final session. We're going to choose one question from our list.
I'm just loving this. This has just been so much fun.
And we're just going to have to answer it.
Okay. Ready?
Got it.
What part of SheKan looks shiny, but it isn't?
Where would you like to start? Marketing.
It's like a swear word.
Do you know what? It was really interesting. I was going to say the numbers, but it's not like we're way better on our numbers because we've simplified so much.
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
true.
as
That's
chaotic.
true. Yeah.
But no, it's exactly the conversation we had this morning. It's fucking marketing.
Yeah.
And we need to sort that shit out. We're going to do that this afternoon. Oh. Yeah. Yours?
Well, I think it's really hard because there's elements of shine, but there was elements of just, are you kidding me? So the travel, which we love the travel, but the packing and we are renowned light packers. We never bring options. We we take so little when we go away.
Yes.
But it's all the shit that we've got to take. Like it looks like, oh, look at this. They've got this. It's amazing. It's because we had to pack it all and think about it all and cart it all. And that was a bit of SheKan that I wasn't. I mean, we used to drive a ute around.
Yeah.
Which was squidgies.
Well, going back and looking at the photos from the last 10 years, I was like, there was a ute, but that ute was full.
Yeah. And do you know what the
We
funniest
used to take our own projector and our own
everything.
screen.
And that's sort of, and now it's like client gifts but the packing and the carting, it looks really shiny when we unload it all and it looks great. But again, that was also working it out on the run too. Like, oh my God, we need this. Oh my God, we need tampons in the room. We need cough lollies in a room. We need tissues in a room. You know, we started packing all of that.
Yeah. And that still comes with us everywhere.
Everywhere. So
yeah,
we look like
true.
we're really well oiled, which I guess we are. That's the shiny part, but it's not fun.
Well, yeah. What is that saying, you know, like you see the glory, but you don't see the story? It's kind of like
the story.
You don't see the shit show behind us. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
All right, one last sip.
Okay.
Next episode.
Oh, my God.
We are going to be talking about our first ever event. So
we'll definitely need a sip for that.
we'll see you then.
Bye.